Welcome to the Explainer. It's pretty amazing how just a few lines of text from way back in the 7th century can give us this incredible model for respectful disagreement. Today, we're going to unpack Surah Al-Kafirun, a short but really powerful chapter from the Quran. And we're going to explore its message using this kind of cinematic storyboard to show you its brilliant structure. All right, so the surah builds its case in 4 really deliberate steps. We're going to follow that structure. We'll start with a universal address, move on to a clear distinction, see how it gets repeated for emphasis, and then finally land on the defining principle. So the first thing you notice is that the opening isn't some quiet suggestion. Nope, it's a command for a public declaration. This sets a really direct, unapologetic tone from the get-go. This opening line is a direct address. That command, say, immediately turns this from a personal thought into a public proclamation, and it's addressed to the Kafiroon. Now, in this specific context, that term referred to the polytheists in Mecca at that time. So right away, we know exactly who the audience for this message is. And I love the imagery here. The scene isn't set with fire and conflict, It's the calm clarity of a desert sunrise. That immediately frames the whole message. This isn't a declaration of war. It's a declaration of truth. And it's meant to be delivered with this, serene confidence. Okay, so after that public address, the text gets right to its core message, drawing a fundamental boundary. This is where the lines of belief get really clearly and firmly defined. And this is a statement all about present identity. It's a simple, totally unambiguous declaration about a core difference in worship. It's about the here and now. And just look at this visual metaphor. It's not a battlefield, right? It's 2 separate paths. This isn't about one attacking the other. It's just they are simply and fundamentally headed in different directions. And then the verse immediately flips the perspective. See, it's not a one-sided statement. It actually acknowledges that this distinction is mutual. It applies to both sides with equal force. It creates this really nice sense of balance in the argument. So this declaration isn't being framed as aggression at all. It's all about resilience. The principle is just standing firm, totally unmovable, kind of like a mountain weathering a storm. All right, now the surah does something that's rhetorically really powerful. It repeats the core message, but, and this is key, with a subtle and super important shift. This isn't just for show. It's all about locking down the meaning completely. So you gotta notice the shift in language here. It's not just about the present moment anymore. By saying, I will not worship, it becomes this firm declaration about the future. It's a promise of unwavering consistency. A good way to think of this repetition is like waves crashing against a rock. Each statement is just another layer of emphasis, making the point absolutely undeniably clear. It washes away any lingering doubt that there might be room for compromise. So, see, the repetition isn't just for effect. By covering both the present and the future, it basically closes any loophole for misinterpretation. It's the final word on the matter. Period. And then, once again, the mutual nature of this future promise is restated. It's like saying, just as my path is set for the future, so is yours. This creates this perfectly symmetrical, airtight argument. There are literally no loopholes left. So by the end of all this repetition, the line between the 2 paths is just absolute. And this visual of a split sky really nails it, right? There is no gray area left. The distinction is as clear as day and night. Okay, so after establishing these super firm boundaries, the surah comes to its conclusion. But here's the thing, it doesn't end with conflict or condemnation. Not at all. It ends with a really powerful and peaceful principle for coexistence. This is really the climax of the whole declaration. It's a statement that allows for separate identities to exist without having to compromise or collide. It's the logical, peaceful outcome of everything that came before it. It says, we're different, and that's how we're going to stay. And this final image really leaves you with a feeling of profound peace. The paths don't lead to a crash course, right? They just continue on their own way, toward the horizon. This isn't some hostile division, it's a respectful separation. So there you have it. That's the masterful structure of the argument. It starts with a public statement, it defines a boundary in the present, it cements that boundary for the future, and then it concludes with a principle of peaceful coexistence. Just brilliant.
So, what does that leave us with? This really powerful idea. This 7th century text gives us a model for defining who you are through clear boundaries, not through aggression. And it poses a timeless question, doesn't it? In a world that's always pressuring us to blend in and compromise, what's the real power of a clear but still respectful no?